Bappa disputing he's a crazy sports dad, right? He's arguing against that notion. Let's play this clip.
Fucking chant that you want to set them up to go as far as they can, whether it's high school, college. So with Bossy, people are like, oh, you're this crazy. No, I'm not this crazy dad. In order for him to get better, I have to push him as far as I can go.
Right.
But you have to push him as far as you can go where it's still fun. So I'm not putting him in tackle football with 4th and 5th graders, you know? But you got to do it. How's he going to get better? Well, he has to play with older kids. And he's done it for 2 seasons.
That's how everything is.
Baseball, he played with 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
He's 5. Led the league in hits. 5.
Well, I just think in life, part of the most important thing about trying to get good at something is so hard because you have to put yourself in the mix with people that are better than you. And if you really want to be good, you got to figure out a way to be as good or better. Like there's this thing, and what happens is when you don't compete in life, when you don't try to be really good at something, you will get a false sense of security. You'll get a false sense of confidence. You're just
not going anywhere, or you're not doing shit.
You're not doing shit.
No, you're not doing shit.
You'll just become a critic. You'll become a critic.
Yeah.
That's why, but mainly, like the thing is, like you'll see if you meet a gold medalist, like Satoshi or one of the, any of those guys. Ishii, yeah, like anybody who's won a gold medal or anybody who made it to the Olympics,
What gold medal have you
like
won,
it's
man?
not even the skills, it's what they had to do to get there, like all that, how you talk to yourself, the fucking injuries you deal with, all the shit it's the stuff you don't see. That's what's such a bitch.
Oh yeah,
such a bitch.
What a cliche.
That's why I respect you have to give respect. If you don't give respect, you've never even tried at anything.
I don't know anyone who doesn't give him respect.
By the way, notice that fraudulent slip somebody else pointed out in the stream chat where he said, loads of I's there for his son's baseball. Now I find that very interesting. Let me go back 1 second so you can notice that little fraudulent slip there. Very interesting, very telling. Is it all about your kid or is it all about you?
If your kid has just a fucking chant that you want to set them up to go as far as they can, whether it's high school, college. So with Bossy, people are like, oh, you're this crazy. No, I'm not this crazy dad.
Yes, you are.
In order for him to get better, I have to push him as far as I can go.
I have to push him as far as I can go. He mentions fun, but I think he just says it to appease people who criticize him. I don't necessarily think he cares about his kids having fun. I think he generally maybe sees them having some ability, some talent, I don't know. And he's definitely seen the money signs. And he's definitely trying to push them a lot, maybe too much in my personal opinion, especially given how young they are. And unfortunately, we know how this story ends. Whenever parents get overly invested in their kids, especially we've seen it with stage mums and everything else in between, it usually doesn't end well. They usually go the opposite way. They usually, like, especially if they're feeling like they're being ragged on, they're being fucking, already Brendan mentioned a couple of episodes ago about how he had a little bit of a spat with his son. Remember I remember where he spoke about his son having a bit of an attitude and shit. Like, I think he's doing too much pushing, not enough letting them just have fun. Training them like athletes and all this stuff. It's like, brother, like they're like 10 years old. I don't know. Maybe save that for when they become teenagers or something, or close to teenagers. But at that age, especially from my time growing up, I remember I've had some kids in my local area who went on to become professional athletes. A lot of those kids just played every single sport. They happen to be professional. They happen to be playing for great teams. Arsenal's, the West Hams, the Crystal Palaces, QPR back in the day. That was a big hotbed of talent. A lot of my friends I went to school with played for Charlton Athletic, Leyton Orient. All these teams. Boreham Wood. That was a team a lot of people played for back in the day. And a lot of them, especially when we were younger, they just played all the sports. Then they reached an age, maybe it was usually around 13, 14, where they started to take it a bit more seriously. Where they were able to take time off from school, all this stuff. But it still was a game, and their parents weren't like this. They just had regular parents that took them to places, but they weren't like super invested in making them fucking hit balls in the corner and shit. It's like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to end well. I think he's doing a little bit too much. But those are his kids, I guess. I guess he can do it how he wants to do it. Big up Jack Donny Jr. Giving 9 protein shakes is diabolical business. Exactly. Papa trying to get out of the hood. Exactly. Chase Cacao. I don't remember Tiger Woods' dad being this too kind to his Tiger Reaver. That's a good point, to be fair. And to be fair to Tiger Woods, when he speaks about his dad, he's, I think it worked out in spite of his dad being, whatever he was, but he's also very kind to his son. His son plays golf, and he's very hands off. I remember him saying his son's really good, but he didn't want to repeat his dad's things with his son. Josie, so why aren't these kids on the All-Star team? Exactly, pick up Josie. We also see Boston gonna join Delta Force with Uncle Tim Kennedy. Is hilarious. Anyway, next clip. Papa hates it when his kids say someone sucks. Yeah, this is a weird one, by the way. This is a weird pet peeve. This is a strange pet peeve. You'd think somebody like a Brendan, who was a very average athlete, who didn't really hit the heady heights of maybe his, aspirations and stuff, you'd think he'd be a lot more understanding of this statement, because I feel like in sport, especially if you've played a sport to a decent enough level, you know the intricacies of it, and you're aware that sometimes just because someone makes it as a pro doesn't mean they're good. They might be better than regular civilians, regular people like you and I, but within the professional, industry, they're not that great. So I think you can watch a sport and see somebody playing a sport, although they are still a professional at it, and they're probably better. They could probably, run rings around you with their eyes closed. I think watching sports, you can still ascertain as to who, even on that level, is good and who is bad. And if you say somebody is shit, oh my God, he should have caught that, oh my God, he should have scored that, I don't think that's dismissing their level of talent or their level of ability. You are more so comparing them to other professionals, saying as other professionals go, you are crap compared to them. I don't think that's a bad thing, or that's a horrible, or or an unfair thing, or something that comes from a place of not understanding the level that professional athletes are at. But for some reason, that statement seems to annoy Brendan when his sons say it.
On right to him, and I was like, that guy sucks.
I hate when guys say that.
Starting.
Yo, big up.
Life lesson. You can be the best and not make it.
Exactly. Basically. Exactly. We got A. Martinez. Exactamente.
Receiver in the NFL.
Oh, my kids will say that.
We all say it.
I've never said that.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, but my kids will say it. He sucks, and I'll go.
I will do this. There are some guys.
I give him a reality check. I go, he sucks. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
So you're the shit on your team right now. Well, let's say that guy for his entire life has been the best player on the field
by far
since he was 4.
Yeah.
So you haven't got to high school yet. So in high school, he was top 10 in all the nation. And then went to college, he was top 10 in all the nation. And then he got drafted to the NFL.
And starts.
And plays. So when you say he sucks, it makes me mad.
I will say this.
Right now, I
will say there are some guys that are so talented, and what happens is they'll get to a point where they start.
Anyway, no more Brendan, no more fucking Callan pseudoscience. Don't you find that odd? I feel like he's doing that because he feels like it makes him look like more or sound like more of a pro. Or I never say people are crap because obviously you're a pro, so that means you're in the 1%. I was like, no, you can have an opinion on a professional athlete and comparing them to other professional athletes and say within the pool of professional athletes in your specific sport, you are crap because the fundamentals you don't have of the level of other professional athletes. Like, that's the beauty and the fun of sports. Like, do you know what I mean? But I feel like he's trying way too hard to appear like the bestest of sports fans, the top sport fans. He's trying way too hard to kind of like virtue signal in a way, way too hard. But Koila, Brendan too obsessed with sports timelines starting at childhood. Exactly. Koila, like Aaron Rodgers, he was so asked this yesterday. Exactly. Tiger's dad and Papa are uncomparable. It's hilarious. Apis Potter, his kids are going to hate him. Tiger made it ways to Wells before Chin. Big up B Mullery. It's like saying I can't have an opinion on a movie because I never directed the film. Exactly, B Mullery. Exactly, B Mullery.